With Match Day on BBC Radio Suffolk, with today's main feature coming from the St Mary's Stadium, just moments away from kick-off now, with Ipswich Town ready to face Southampton. Brenna Woolley and Mick Mills ready for commentary.
Not sure my heart could handle an ending similar to when these two sides last met, although I'd take it if it means Town getting their first Premier League win of the season. Jeremy Sarmiento's goal in April was as iconic as it was dramatic. For an entire generation, it was their Roger Osborne or Martin Russo moment. Now, 5 months on, they meet again, having both managed to negotiate their way out of the Championship. It's a big game, this, with both teams desperately trying to get their first win of the season. I guess it's especially important for the home side, given they haven't even got a point yet, and will undoubtedly feel they've got to beat the likes of Ipswich at home if they're to survive. As for Town, if they can add a cutting edge to last week's defensively superb performance along the coast at Brighton, who's to say this won't be their day? Taking them to 5 points from 5 games, which would be a really good early season return, especially when you consider their first 2 opponents. Beautiful day on the south coast. Massive banner saying Southampton till I die has been rolled up the stand up to our right hand side as the 2 sets of players cross on the halfway line, patting hands as the final Ipswich Town players do that with the 3 match officials. Mick fans are very excited about the prospect of today being the day when Town finally get their first win of the season, while Kieran McKenna understandably has been quick to kind of calm things down. Where are you on all of that?
Well, I agree with Kieran McKenna, to be quite honest. I mean, if we go back up the road to Ipswich and we're unbeaten in 3 games, I'll be delighted with that. So if we can get a draw here today, I'm fine. I think that would be, I think we're beginning to get used to the ability of the Premier League. We know how difficult it is. We're very level-headed about what we're trying to do, and with this game, it would be so easy to try and talk in terms of Southampton being a freshly promoted club and, devalue their status, if you like, because, if you do it to them, they can do it to you. So it doesn't really work. I think both teams were absolutely outstanding last year to gain promotion. They've both been out into the transfer market. They've made pretty big investments. They've got maybe 50% of new teams taking the pitch today that actually gained promotion last year. So there's a little bit of newness about it, but we are old rivals, and I think this will be a very, very well-balanced game. Maybe it'll be one of the first games of the season that we don't have to play counter-attacking football, if you like. I think we'll get a fair share of the ball, and I think we'll be able to go back to our passing game a little bit more. I hope we can anyway.
2 teams are in their pre-match huddles down in front of us. Obviously the pitch is gorgeous and green and slick. One change for Town. Phillips is out with an injury. Kajust makes his full league debut for Ipswich. Murrich in goal, the back 4. Twanzebe, O'Shea, Greaves and Davis. That's Morsey the captain alongside Kajust. The 3 are Burns, Hutchinson, Smodix to lap up top. On the bench, Walton, Hurst, Chaplin, Johnson, Clark, Taylor, Ogbeni, Luongo, Townsend. 4 changes for Southampton. Stevens, Walker, Peters, Brereton, Diaz and Ugachukwu go out. In come Harwood, Bellis, Lallana, Taylor, Fraser. Ramsdale is their keeper. Back 4, Sugawara, Harwood, Bellis, Bednarek and Taylor. Then a 2 of Downs the captain alongside Lallana. Then a 3 of Dibbling, Fernandez, Fraser supporting Archer. On the bench, McCarthy's the 3rd former Ipswich Town player in this group. Walker, Peters, Wood, Aribo, Ugachukwu, Cornet, Armstrong, Stewart and Brereton, Diaz. Town in blue, white, blue, playing from left to right against the red and white striped shirts of Southampton. Southampton having to do some early defending, headed up in the air, might be a chance for Delap to right, nods it down, comes to Smodix, wide left inside the area, flag's gone up against Ipswich Town. So yeah, Southampton in their red and white striped shirts with black shorts and white socks, and yes, the 2 captains, Downs and Morsey, could be interesting in the centre of the field between those 2 to see how that develops. Flynn actually missed this game last season through a surprise injury. I remember getting the team sheets that Tuesday night down here, but had a good game at Portman Road on April Fool's Day. And actually, talking of the changes, 2 of the Southampton team played in the game a year ago, just the 3 from Ipswich Town, and both sides only have 4 players starting today that started the game 5.5 months ago. So has been the turnover, which Mick Mills just reflected upon. One of the many new arrivals at Portman Road has the ball far side. Jacob Greaves forward to Smodix. Smodix just away from Delap, and it's tidied up back by Harwood Bellis. Now a full-time Southampton player, having been on loan from Manchester City last season, and Ramsdale, once of Arsenal, clatters that goal kick out on the far side for a throw-in to Leif Davis, who actually missed the game here last season through injury. Brandon Williams took his place on the side, so a completely different back five for Ipswich Town today compared to that game, which was just over a year ago, almost to the day when Hutchinson scored the winner. And he's on the ball now. Hutchinson trying to find Kajust, the Swede. The Swede then wins the challenge. It's Lallana in his second spell at Southampton. Southampton lose the ball, trying to be overly elaborate. Burns, good-looking ball into the box, a chance! It's wide from Smodix, sliding in. But again, that was typical Southampton play, just overplaying things. And Ipswich Town were on them in a flash.
Yeah, they did well, Town, to seize upon the opportunity to win the ball there. And that was a fabulous ball from Wes Burns. I mean, he just won control, and he saw the pass immediately, and it was very, very sort of a great ball over the top, and not a bad effort.
Southampton dallying on the ball, a chance for Kajust, saved by the goalkeeper. The referee blew his whistle again. This is what Southampton do. That was very risky. It was Downs put under what was ultimately a legal pressure from Kajust.
Well, I remember this time last season that Southampton had started the season in the Championship playing what I called suicidal football. They were playing the short passing game out from the back, but they weren't actually succeeding with it and were giving lots of goals away.
Tuanzebe, impeccable a week ago, wins his first header. Fernandez misjudges the bounce. Southampton win it through Lallana. And Morsey has a go there, a little nibble. Greaves gets it away. Heading into this weekend, no one in the Premier League has made more clearances than Jacob Greaves. I saw that stat in the week. Sam Allison, incidentally, is the referee. Did Town's defeat at Manchester City not that long ago. He's blown up for a free kick, which is Ipswich Town's in the centre of their half of the field. He dropped his whistle. That's what Liam Delap's just been thrown back to him. Actually, the last Premier League meeting between these two sides, Liam Delap's dad, Rory, scored in a 3-1 win for Southampton at Portman Road. It was 3-3 on this ground that particular season. Headed away from the back by Taylor, playing at left back. Southampton again taking chances at the back, but now it's lofted away by the number 6, Harwood Bellis. Archer lost the ball in flight. Cross comes Greaves to help out O'Shea. He's really looked the business, Jacob Greaves, hasn't he, since minute one against Liverpool?
Absolutely super. You know, he's strong, he's great positional play, you know, and he's got a fair amount of ability as well. Like on that occasion, the play is not down his side, but he's aware of what his partner is going to be trying to do, and he covered him beautifully.
Sticked every inch, a Premier League defender. Literally from that first minute against Liverpool, he's on the ball now, absolutely adored by Hull fans, who all said he was ready for the step up, as painful as that move was in the summer. On this occasion, just overly hit his pass to Leif Davis far side, and it's out for a throw into Sugawara, the Japanese who arrived here in the summer. Has been playing left back of late, but with Walker Peters on the bench, he switched to the far side as we expected he might. Downs gives the Japanese the ball, plays a little 1-2. Sugawara running forward, held by Kajust. The referee's played the advantage. It was blatant from the Swede. Now it's Fraser, former Town loan player. Little ball into the Ipswich area, towed away by O'Shea, controlled by Tuanzebe. Plays off Fraser, loose from Tuanzebe. Southampton have the ball just outside the Ipswich area with Lallana. Lallana's good ball into the box to Dibbling! 1-0 Southampton. His first professional goal for the 18-year-old. And it was very poorly given away by Tuanzebe. The dream start for Southampton, who've yet to get a point on the board this season. They lead Ipswich down by 1-0. Nothing Muric could do about that one.
Well, from Southampton's point of view, that would be judged as a good goal. Great pass, great take, great finish. But from Ipswich's point of view, that's a typical defender, modern-day defender, if you like. They don't believe in giving corners away or throw-ins away unnecessarily, if you like. That ball should have gone out of play. Tuanzebe was turning it into a very dangerous position, a position that he hadn't even taken stock with. You know, he didn't know where he was playing. He just wanted to keep the ball in play. Totally and utterly wrong. When you're in trouble, put it out of play.
Lovely ball from Lallana, disguise on it, and Dibbling did very well. Nice first touch. I said earlier on to Graham I was looking forward to seeing him. Didn't particularly enjoying watching him there, but such is the nature of football sometimes. Absolutely phenomenal Tuanzebe a week ago, but he's given that one away there. And Ipswich Town are behind at Southampton, who before today had only scored one league goal, the consolation against Brentford. That was a sloppy, heavy challenge by Adam Lallana. Scored twice for Southampton in that 5-2 win over Ipswich Town at Portman Road 13 years ago now. Obviously made his name at Liverpool off the back of that, with numerous England appearances in that spell, and then he's been at Brighton for the last 4 years. Could be a good signing this summer, going back to his boyhood club. There is Downs just tidying up, giving it to Sugawara, who had that mazy run far side to get Southampton possession in the final third. Given away by Dibbling, being overly elaborate. Here is Delap bursting forward for Town. Ramsdale, can he just about keep it in? He can't. Would have been a corner kick to Ipswich. They're behind, 7 minutes on the clock, 1-0 Southampton.
Yeah, which is surprising, because this week, as opposed to down at Brighton, we hardly ever saw the Brighton defensive end of the pitch for a long time. Today, the whole game for the first 5 or 6 minutes was in the Southampton half, and then the one visit, that was their first visit seriously to the Ipswich Town defensive end, and they were successful in creating a goal and scoring a goal.
Believe it or not, even though he's only 18, this is actually his third spell as a Southampton player. Dibbling came through here, went off to Exeter, came back here, went off to Chelsea, then came back here. He's got a really unusual backstory, but clearly a very gifted player. Ramsdale has the ball inside his area, goes short to Downs. Downs tucks it round the corner to the left back area, and it comes to Taylor, galloping down this near side, the left in front of us, gets away from Burns, ball and field intercepted by Kajust. Useful confidence boosting touch from him. Moores up to Delap, well held up by Delap, but then he goes down, challenged by his former teammate at Manchester City. They'll know each other really well. They've come through the ranks together, Delap and Harwood Bellis.
Yeah, I think that was a bit harsh there. We again seized upon some scrappy play from Southampton. Really poor play. They came out well enough from the goalkeeper, but then the ball across the pitch was awful. We seized upon it, and then I'm not sure whether that was a free kick. For me, that was a good defensive challenge.
Yeah, I didn't see much wrong with that either. Here is Tuanzebe, gives the ball to Morsey, rolls it up to Burns. On the right hand side is Hutchinson, the goal scorer on this fixture a year ago, taken on Fraser, edge of the area, then just loses it. Fernandez uses his body, goes back to the left back Taylor out to Fraser on the stretch. He just keeps it in play. Fernandez lets it run across him. Lallana obviously gave him a shout. Lallana with an assist in this game already. Ahead of that goal, Southampton and Crystal Palace were the only two teams that had never led for a single second in the Premier League heading into this game, but they now have a goal on the board after Town had made a good start, forced them back, looked more likely to maybe make the breakthrough, but a sloppy bit of defending. Lallana fed Dibbling, and a simple finish, side-footed beyond the Kosovan. What a game he had last week. Norwich at Brighton. Southampton at the moment stringing passes around at the back. That is the danger. They do keep the ball ever so well, and now they have their noses in front. 10 minutes gone on BBC Radio Suffolk. Bednarek, the Polish defender, gives it to Harwood Bellis. A lot of games as a pair last season for those two. Became a real fixture in the back line. Dibbling to Sugawara. Town at the moment chasing shadows, but it's all in the defensive third of Southampton, way off to our right hand side here at St Mary's. As ever, the away end packed out. The Town supporters, thousands of them in the left hand corner as we look opposite. Sugawara gets the better of Greaves. Greaves challenges Fernandez. They'll smuggle out of play for a throw into Ipswich Town. Matt Gill alongside Russell Martin down below us, former Ipswich Town coach Matt Gill.
There's no complications today as far as system is concerned, the way of play is concerned. Both teams are playing with a 4-2-3-1, so everybody's got an opponent except for obviously two centre-backs are playing against one lone striker, and the way the teams are trying to play are identical. It's a passing game, come out from the back whenever possible, and so it'll be slow, quick, slow.
Down the right-hand side for Ipswich Town, it's Burns trying to take on Taylor. Arrived from Burnley on a free in the summer, did Taylor, once of Leeds. Back to Twanzebe, short to Morsey outside the area. Back on the right-hand side, it's Burns. One touch, thought about the cross, and she gets it in left-footed. Free header, straight at the goalkeeper. Wouldn't have counted. The flag was up against Smodics. Lovely play again from Burns, picking out Smodics for the second time in this game.
Yeah, it was a terrific ball in, but had Smodics not have been offside, you would have said, where on earth was the Southampton defence? Because he was completely free, probably just inside the 6-yard box when he headed the ball. So, you know, that they probably obviously tried to hold the line and to get him offside.
Sugawara on the right for Southampton, cost £6 million from Dutch football in the summer. Plays the ball forward. Across will come O'Shea. Almost has his pocket picked though by Archer. He missed the penalty, or had it saved a week ago against Manchester United, which forced the tide to turn against the Saints, and never really looked like getting anything from that game when United raced to a 3-0 victory. Talking of 3-0, it's 3-0 in the Premier League at lunchtime. London derby, West Ham 0, Chelsea 3. West Ham, Ipswich Town's next hosts in a couple of weeks from now. Relatively short hop down to Stratford for that game. Town are at home to Aston Villa next Sunday afternoon. Morsey with a head on, he's clattered to the ground, and the player that he challenged was Fernandez. Both players thankfully okay, but it is a free kick to Ipswich inside the Saints half of the field. On which is Kieran McKenna in all black, arms folded down below us. There is Jacob Greaves, slides a pass forward to Davis. Morsey to Kajust, that's a new partnership in midfield. Kajust played 20 minutes against Fulham, that was it in terms of his Premier League experience heading into this game. Burns, infield to Hutchinson, lovely turn from Hutchinson, gives it square to Morsey inside the Southampton half. Town trail 1-0. Fernandez all over the back of Morsey. Morsey shaking him off, gives it to Hutchinson. On the right, Burns, good promising play from Ipswich Town. Burns tries to bend the ball into the box, it's come off the back of Charlie Taylor. Out 40. Through a good response from Ipswich.
Yeah, good play. That was nice, tidy, comfortable play. They really kept possession well there, and there seems to be a little bit of an outlet whenever they want to use Wes Burns. He seems to be available, and when you fancy him when he gets the ball out here on the right hand side, that he can always put a telling cross in.
Kajust got a bit of a run up on this near side, the Ipswich Town right, getting ready to take this throw in. And it comes to the Southampton area, headed away by Fraser, right about the near post area, out as far as Amari Hutchinson. Back to Kajust down the right hand side, the number 12. Passes it infield to O'Shea. 1-0 Southampton live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Twanzebe tries to knock the ball into the box. Hits Lallana's forehead and goes out behind for the first corner kick of the afternoon. Back to Graham.
Fulham leading Newcastle 1-0. Everton 1 up at Leicester. Tottenham 1, Brentford 1.
Big game that, Leicester versus Everton. Imagine if Everton go 2-0 up and lose for the third week in a row, but that's an early goal for them, which I was going to say will help calm the nerves. Maybe it won't, based on what's happened to them in recent times. Probably a huge win, as with this for Southampton, but a long old way to go in both games. Corner kick to Ipswich in the 15th minute. Davis fires it in, headed away by Sugawara on the near post, controlled by Hutchinson, under pressure from Fraser. Hutchinson's done well, dogged play, then takes it away from Lallana. Davis still on the right wing near side for Ipswich Town, back towards Morsey. Morsey over the top for Burns, lovely ball, Burns is onside, into the centre it comes on the stretch, Harwood Bellis gets it away. Lovely floated ball from Morsey and a well-timed run from Burns.
Yeah, very good. I'm disappointed with the corner, but that was very, very good. But again, we've got Wes Burns free.
Hutchinson to Twanzebe outside the box. In comes his cross towards Delap. Flying with his left boot towards the ball. Southampton under pressure. This is good from Town, who've won another corner.
Yeah, and the corner will be exactly the same. There's 6 Town players in the box and 9 Southampton players in the box, because we'll have 2 out on the corner kick, and only one Southampton player will come out to deal with that. And that's where I think have a little 2v1 against him just early in the game, just to make them bring an extra player out. They've done it.
Davis back to Hutchinson. Hutchinson crosses into the area towards the far post, flying in with Smodics, recycled by Greaves, who's up there. Now Tuanzebe, he's turned from right back to left winger over in the far corner. O'Shea feeds it back to Kajust, who looks up. Instead, though, goes square to Morsey rather than forward into the area. Hutchinson could play this from Ipswich Town at the moment. They're on top, seeing plenty of the ball. What can they do with it? Hutchinson gets it through the legs of Lallana. Foul on Hutchinson. Unpopular decision by Mr. Allison. Free kick, Ipswich.
But it was an aggressive challenge, you know, and he didn't have any right, really. There wasn't a loose ball there. Amari Hutchinson had good control of it, so I think the referee's got that right. It's a great position. You could possibly have a strike at goal from here, but probably more of a little diagonal dink ball over the top of the Southampton back line.
Free kick to Ipswich, around about maybe 32 yards from goal, right of centre. They're 1-0 behind at St Mary's. Leif Davis about to be taking it as Liam Delap bundles Fernandez to the deck, just on the edge of the penalty area. Sam Allison's going to just check what's going on between those two. Harwood Bellis also getting involved. Delap's telling him to do one. The referee wants a word with Delap and Fernandez as Davis walks away from the free kick after all. It's going to be Morsey. All eyes on the penalty area off to our right-hand side. Ramsdale on his right-hand post as we look at things. It's a Town free kick. Now he's centrally in his goal mouth. Morsey puts the ball into the area. Player goes down. It's O'Shea. Comes towards him. Greaves turns, hits it, blocked away, and then stabbed out behind. Lunging to do so was Dibbling. It's another corner to Ipswich Town.
Well, I thought at the start of the game that the teams would share the possession today, but to be perfectly honest, Ipswich has dominated the possession so far.
It's a third corner kick in relatively quick succession for Ipswich Town, trying to draw level in this game. If anybody's in the area off to our right-hand side, it's going to be taken once more by Leif Davis. This one is going to swing away from Ramsdale's goal line. The early goal from Dibbling still separates these two teams. 18 gone. Davis has his right hand in the air over in the far right corner of St Mary's, waiting a while. Home crowd now getting a bit restless eventually, and it comes from Davis, headed away by the second defender, which was actually Fernandez back on duty. That is for Smodics, who rolls it to the centre spot. Morsey then goes back towards Muric. Muric back to his captain. Morsey looks long up towards Delap, backpedaling towards Sugawara, wins the back header, clever header towards Davis. Davis goes square into there, maybe a chance for Tuanzebe, of all people, who was up there, and it's just booted away by the left back Taylor, who'd come in field.
Yeah, I think Tuanzebe is hardly sort of retreated back from the corner kick, really, you know, so it's all Town. I mean, we've just had a couple of corner kicks. The ball has been sort of cleared. Sam Morsey tidied up, gave it to his goalkeeper, and back came Town in the Southampton defensive half. So possession-wise, this has all been very good for Town.
Morsey threading up towards Smodics. Smodics to a clever clip to Delap, back towards Smodics inside the area. He goes down, might be Davis's ball. Smuggled away from him, out of play for another corner kick to Ipswich Town.
Yeah, they're doing everything right, really, apart from obviously the scoreline isn't what you want, but this has been all down in the Southampton defensive half, this game. They've only visited Town's goalkeeper's end once, and they scored from it.
The Town started well. Southampton scored, didn't have a spell, they just scored, and then Town have continued in this vein of good form. They've been the better team, but they're behind. What can Ipswich do from this corner? And it comes from Davis. Good delivery. Out as far as Kajust, who gets totally underneath that one and sends it into the red and white striped shirts behind Ramsdale's goal.
Well, we've had a lot of corner kicks and free kicks as well, but I would like us to be a little bit more eventful. The very best one we've had was when we went short, you know, from Leif Davis to Amari Hutchinson, and he bent a left-footed cross from a different angle into the Southampton box, and it caused a little bit of trouble. But at the moment, all that happens from our corner kicks is there's 9 Southampton players in the box, there's 6 of ours. You can throw a cat over the whole 15 of those players, so how somebody can get to instruct movement and find a bit of space, I don't know, because everything comes in, it goes into the cluster, and it's cleared comfortably. You know, almost as if there's no real thought gone into it at all. I know they will have a specialist who does the free kicks, and he will be working and working and working. But from our point of view, from what we see on a match day, there isn't a lot of thought goes into it, and they're certainly not very creative from it.
Break and play while McMills was chatting as for an injury to Aaron Ramsdale. So obviously play couldn't continue, but he's okay. I thought for 1 second there was a signal towards the bench that a change might be needed, but he's up and he's all right. Cost anything between 18 million and 25 million from Arsenal in the summer. Overall, it cost more than 60 million pounds in these various moves from the likes of Bournemouth, Sheffield United, and to the Emirates from the Emirates Stadium. 5 England caps to his name. Just 26 years of age, so a long while ahead of him. Could be in a stupid bit of business. Here he is, not sure he wanted that ball short to him on the edge of his area from Bednarek. He was caught napping rather, cleared it away, they didn't try anything fancy. Chest trap from Smodics to Burns. Burns goes back to Muric, who's way outside of his area. Now it's with Greaves, square to O'Shea. Do look to be the favoured central defensive partnership now. O'Shea, it's a good looking ball forward. Burns stretches, couldn't get a hold of it, and it's out for a goal kick to Ramsdale once again. 22 minutes gone, so what, midway point of the first half. Still Dibbling's goal after 5 minutes, after some poor work at the back from Ipswich Town, it has to be said, gifted to Southampton. The only goal we've seen so far.
Yeah, that was another ball. That was a decent ball. It wasn't that much. It wasn't overhit badly, but it's Wes Burns who looks at the moment to be the one that can create the trouble.
Just brings the ball down before Burns could get there. Then Davis can't go forward. Downs is all over him. Southampton closing down far side. Kajust the rules. The ball back for Ipswich Town to O'Shea. Live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Every kick of every Ipswich Town game this season. It's game number 5 in the Premier League. We've just been asked an awful lot by Muric there. All mistake from Greaves. He's done very well. It was an awkward ball to deal with in his defence. It could have got really awkward. As it was, he bit back well. Southampton have been forced back to the halfway line to try to get their passing game going again. They finished 4th in the Championship last season, 9 points behind Town, but got up via the playoffs, beating Leeds United at Wembley. So far this season, they've lost to Newcastle, Forest, Brentford, Manchester United, but they lead this game. Fulham leading Newcastle, previously unbeaten Newcastle by 2-0 at Craven Cottage so far this afternoon. Ramsdale has to deal with a bouncing ball, didn't do particularly well, but it did eventually reach halfway. Archer towards Fernandez. Challenge from O'Shea wasn't as effective as he would have liked it to be. Here is the goal scorer Dibbling, moves the ball away from Smodics, and then side foots it back to Bednarek. It's a confident boy, Dibbling, and that goal after 5 minutes will have been an even more of a shot in the arm for him. Here is Ryan Fraser, infield to Lallana, more than 550 career games, Lallana. Fraser motoring down the left-hand side. There's a step over, Twanzebe's gone with him. Fraser gives the ball back on the near side to Taylor. Good challenge from Hutchinson. Lallana has a nibble at Burns. Burns comes away from him and then is totally upended as Taylor and Lallana collided with one another, and Burns was kind of the meat in the sandwich, and he's holding his left shin on the deck.
This might be a handy yellow card here if he gives it to Taylor.
Yeah,
he's looked a bit loose on Wes Burns already, and now he's involved in that challenge with another Southampton player, and I think the referee's going to go after him. I think. No, he's not.
He did seem to get the yellow card.
Yeah, I thought he had.
He definitely did, and then it's back in his pocket, so he's had second thoughts there. Here is Axel Twanzebe. Understandably been a fair bit of noise from Town fans suggesting he should be rewarded with a new contract. He's back on the ball now, the number 40. Delap's making a run through the middle, he just halts that. Morsey turns it on halfway. More to Taylor than Hutchinson, who goes back to Ramsdale. Ramsdale buys a bit of space. Oh, Delap almost nicked off him in the end. He just got rid of it at the very last second. Taylor towards Archer. Archer tries to take it in his stride. Across will come Greaves. Greaves should get there first under pressure. He concedes a throw-in, does Greaves. Southampton gained a fair bit of ground. This throw-in will be looking along the edge of the Ipswich Town area down in front of us.
Yeah, it just looked as if Archer had a slight better pace than Greaves, and he made that situation happen. He's won that throw-in. It looked at first as if Jacob Greaves was going to deal with it.
Southampton have the ball in the centre circle. 1-0 they lead. Sugawara plays it to his left-hand side, and Bednarek. Now Fraser once again thinks he's got the beating of Twanzebe. Poor pass from Fraser, intercepted by Hutchinson. Now it's with O'Shea at centre half. Still a nice afternoon for football. Cloudy skies above St Mary's, but otherwise dry. Sugawara gets the better of Davis. Across comes Greaves though. Greaves with a good ball down the line to Smodics. Infield to Delap. Challenge from behind by Bednarek. The referee says play on. Dibbling with a little ball through the middle. Lovely ball from Dibbling. Archer in a goal for 2-0 Southampton. Goes round the goalkeeper. Hits the post. Murich drops on it. Oh, what a let-off that was for Ipswich Town.
Wow, that was Dibbling again, who
the player
this time has done the creating, and he did a brilliant pass through, and you thought that Archer was going to actually put Southampton 2-0 in front. He had to work a little bit in the end, and that took him a little bit wide of the goals. He'd already sort of nullified the goalkeeper, but the angle was too much for him in the end.
Ball from Davis straight to Downs. Downs back to the centre spot, and Bednarek, who just signals to his colleagues in red and white to calm themselves down. But that was a great chance, despite being second best in this side, Southampton, to have a 2-0 lead. Again, pretty much from nowhere that would have come, but it was a lovely ball through from Dibbling. Southampton have the ball in the centre, backed by their vocal fans. Kajust beats Lallana. Burns, a little Cruyff turn, then gives it back to Twanzebe. Twanzebe drops his shoulder, wants to take on Fernandez. Fernandez challenge, sees Twanzebe decked. Free kick to Ipswich Town. Southampton feel that Fraser can get some joy against Twanzebe down this near side, I feel. Enjoying himself, Fraser.
Yeah, Fraser is just a very, very tidy player, and that's why he sometimes gets the better of defence. Not with pace, just by being tidy.
Downs gets the better of Morsey. This could be threatening. Fernandez trying to put Archer in behind. It was easy for O'Shea to read and deal with. Then he's sent sprawling onto the grass. Free kick on the edge of the Ipswich Town area. Set to have cost around 18 million this summer. Downs, when his move from West Ham was made permanent. He did tangle a couple of times at Portman Road in early April, Downs and Morsey. On that occasion it was a clean interception from Downs. Just read it was too sharp for the Town skipper. Twanzebe takes the floated pass from Murich on his right thigh. Morsey from deep to this near side. Hutchinson. Back it goes towards Twanzebe. That's 6 meetings in all competitions. Fairly even Stevens between these two sides. A couple of wins each and a couple of draws. One home win in the last 7 meetings. But of course the one at Portman Road in April. Back now with Dara O'Shea into midfield and Kajust. Town trying to add to their 2 league goals so far this season, the first of which was scored by this man, Smodics. Greaves to O'Shea. No back-to-back clean sheets for Ipswich Town though in the league, but could have been worse than just 1-0 behind a few moments ago. You're just joining us on BBC Radio Suffolk. Dibbling's goal after 5 minutes is all that separates these two sides. Twanzebe playing it forward towards Delap. Can't get the better of Harwood Bellis. Out of his area is Ramsdale to scoop it up to the halfway line. Chested by Fraser. Morsey went over the top, won the ball. Now the referee says it's a free kick for the foul on Morsey. Fraser's gone down holding his head. I think it was maybe a loose elbow from the Town captain. Let's go back to Graham.
Tottenham come behind to lead Brentford 2-1. Liverpool 2-0 up at home to Bournemouth. Villa trailing 1-0 at home to Wolves.
Yeah, Villa at Portman Road 2 o'clock next Sunday. Match day on air at 1 till 5. Our next full match commentary. Before that on Monday, the Blue Hour with myself between 6 and 7, talking about all things Ipswich Town, and then the match day preview on Friday, same hours, 6 till 7. John Walk, John Graham and myself for that, building up to next weekend and all sorts of other sport that's going on around the county. Of course, later on match day we'll have updates from a few non-league fixtures, full run-up of results as well. In the final hour between 5 and 6 as Southampton keep possession in that line of red and white off to our right-hand side. Harwood Bellis along the deck, zips a pass to Sugawara. Back it goes to Harwood Bellis, has captained England youth teams in the past, very highly regarded young defender Harwood Bellis. Fernandez, he's only 20, number 10. Kajust, after Southampton have been generous in possession. Downs is upended by Smodix. Free kick in by Mr. Allison. Sam Smodix has just got to keep his cool.
Yeah, the actual stats now are showing that it's very level in possession, but it's actually where that possession's being played. Southampton's possession has mainly been where it is at the moment, maybe 10 yards outside their own box and sort of maybe up to about 20 yards inside the Town defensive half, whereas Town's possession has been further up the pitch.
Delap infield to Hutchinson. Ipswich on the attack, looking to level. Hutchinson stirs the ball, blocked off by Fernandez, who's shown a real willingness to get back and get stuck in. He's not some kind of fancy Dan number 10 that wants to do all the clever stuff in an attacking area. He works very hard for the team. Cost 15 million from Sporting Lisbon in the summer. As we were saying earlier on, these clubs spent a very similar amount of money, around about 100 million or so each this summer, with a massive overhaul of their championship squads. Southampton have the upper hand here this afternoon so far, as Lallana goes back to Bednarek, two of the more experienced players in this Southampton side. Sugawara to Ramsdale, who seems to be moving okay. George Hurst certainly is. He's out for a sprint near side with his bib on, one of the subs. Good to chat to him post-match a week ago. Dibbling challenges Greaves. Archer then brings the ball down, gives it to Dibbling. Dibbling's upended by Davis. Gone up a lot of times, this referee so far. Another free kick. Downs to Dibbling and Sugawara. Downs is available just behind him. Downs now 25 years of age. Was captained Ipswich Town a few times in his career. Very much trusted by Russell Martin with the armband. Speaking of whom, Russell Martin's out on the edge of his technical area down below us. More apparently vocal than Kieran McKenna just to his right. Southampton go all the way back to Ramsdale once again. He pushes it out short to Bednarek. Live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Taylor up towards Archer, intercepted by O'Shea. Burns underneath us to Twanzebe, back to Murrich. He must have feared the worst when Archer went round him 5 or 6 minutes ago. O'Shea. Ramsdale's not really had a save to make. Turner being a little bit toothless.
Yeah, no goalkeeper has really been brought into the action, hardly at all. You know, obviously Muric has been beaten once, and on the other occasion it's hit the post, but apart from that he hasn't really been called into the action. And Ramsdale really, apart from corners really, has had nothing to do.
Dibbling just out muscled by Delap, but now the referee, having a good long think at it, almost like a cricket umpire, has decided to give a free kick to Southampton on the far side of the field. Definitely got shades of Jack Grealish, that type of player, the way he is in possession, the way he manipulates the ball, Tyler Dibbling. As now Bednarek gets ready. All out of the course for Kyle Walker-Peters as one of the substitutes for Southampton goes on a little meandering walk in front of us. Kajust looking for Delap. The ball doesn't get to him. Harwood Bellis there just swipes it back towards Ramsdale. There hasn't been very much goalmouth action at all at either end of the field. Ramsdale up towards Archer. He gives it to Fernandez. Appeals for handball against Kajust. Not given. Delap towards Hutchinson. Good strong challenge in on him. Fernandez of Southampton out to the left-hand side. Fraser's going to go after this. Fraser will get there. Head of Twanzebe. 1 versus 1. Wide left outside the Ipswich area. Fraser waits for the cavalry to come forward. Goes back to Taylor. Fernandez short to Lallana. Here is Fernandez once again. Downs to Sugawara. Southampton forcing Ipswich Town back. Here is Dibbling outside the area. He pings a pass back to Harwood Bellis. I think all 10 outfield players have had a touch of the ball for Southampton since Ipswich Town last did. Moving it from right to left. Now with Dibbling. Fans on the edge of their seats. Dibbling's ball into the box, finds Down, chests it down. Sugawara inside there, back towards Flynn Downs. Turned away by Sam Smodix, back defending in between Greaves and Davis.
Yeah, very patient football from the Saints, and decent football as well, and they waited to make that inroad into the Town penalty area, and we had to sort of get it away from the danger area very quickly.
35.5 minutes gone on BBC Radio Suffolk Sports. Southampton have a throw-in outside the Ipswich Town penalty area, trying to double their advantage before the interval. There is Dibbling. He has to go back towards Bednarek, deepest sitting Southampton outfield player, from that throw-in well inside the Ipswich Town half. And once again is Lallana. Always looked a good player when he first came through at Southampton. Adam Lallana, somebody that would step up to, with all due respect, a bigger club, which he did. Now is Sugawara infield to Lallana with a 10 on his back, but sitting a bit deeper for Saints. Downs pretty much had 100% of the ball, Southampton, this last 90 seconds or so. Now they're going to try and punish Ipswich Town. They're coming forward with Fernandez. Morsey's trying to force him to make a decision. Now Bednarek. It's a while since Town had the ball for a couple of touches. The away fans pretty quiet over in that far left-hand corner, watching on now after their 3-4 hour journey down here this morning. Saints. All the noise coming from the home fans. Dibbling has it, one-on-one with Leif Davis. In the shade of the stand opposite with We March On stretched across the back of it. Both managers watching on, and then poor pass from Ramsdale straight at Russell Martin, nowhere near one of his teammates. Poor kick.
Yeah, it was a good sort of spell of possession play from Southampton, and they'll want to do this now because they've got themselves one in front early in the game, and Town sort of started to dominate the exchanges, and now what Southampton badly will want to do is take control of the ball and of the game.
There's Amari Hutchinson out to the left-hand side, and Leif Davis. 7.5 minutes to go until half-time interval. Southampton lead 1-0 thanks to Dibbling's goal after just 5 minutes of this match. Archer has since hit the post. Greaves to the left, Davis infield towards Delap. Snappy challenge from Bednarek. The loose ball goes to Morsey. Morsey shoulder to shoulder with Downs. Switches play out to the right-hand side. Burns up on his tiptoes, just keeps it in. One-on-one with Taylor. Taking him on for a while. It was a feature of Town's early attacking play. Tuanzebe to Morsey. Morsey burrows forward, then pings it onto the chest of Smodics. Batted away by the left boot of Taylor. Urged to come out by Russell Martin. He never stops talking and waving his arms to his players. Kieran McKenna a lot more calm.
But they both work hard. They're both right on the edge of their technical areas, and they want to be as close to the game as possible, and they are ready to give instruction all the time.
There is Burns, miscontrolled. That allows Taylor to get on it, and Fraser tidies up. Back to his goalkeeper Ramsdale. Harwood Bellis in because Stevens, the captain, is banned. Harwood Bellis over the top towards Fernandez. The flag has stayed down so far. Fernandez needs support, skips away from Morsey. This is quite direct from Southampton, but it could be effective. Fernandez ball pushes Fraser out wide left, outside the Ipswich area. Fraser knocks the ball into the centre, dealt with by O'Shea. And as far as Lallana, good chest trap, then he knocks it in. Headed down by Davis. Greaves will be behind it. He's got time to allow the ball to bounce a couple of times before spooning it out to Liam Delap on the far side of the field. He's fouled by a combination of Harwood Bellis and Downs. He's sliding on his chest along the deck. Free kick.
Yeah, I think when they got possession of that ball in the centre of the field there, the ball pass that was on was out to Diblin, and he chose to sort of turn and come this way to Fraser, and when he did that I just felt that the attack was not going to be as effective had it have gone out to Diblin.
Burns infield to Hutchinson, a little pocket of space, want to get away from Lallana, which he manages to do, but then Fraser gets an important toe in. Lallana shields it away from Tuanzebe using his expertise and experience. Lallana up towards Archer. Archer's first touch almost loses the ball. Does at least allow Burns to make a challenge and see the ball out for a Southampton throw. It was a great rush to take it. Final 5 minutes of this first half. At Southampton at the moment, who've got a light grip on their first win of the season.
Yeah, they are slightly in charge of the game, purely and simply because they managed to get that early goal, and it's more comfortable for them to continue this possession game, whereas Town will be thinking a little bit. Have they got to be a bit more urgent? Have they got to move the ball more quickly? You know, they'll have these sort of doubts in their mind more than Southampton.
Fernandez to Dibbling, definitely a danger man, shaped to cross on the right corner of the Ipswich area. The goal scorer still has it, teasing Davis, goes back to Downs. Downs gives it to Lallana. Lallana, a little ball into box, intercepted well by Davis, well read. Wants to take on Dibbling, seeing how good he is as a defender. Dibbling wins the ball. Davis went into a cul-de-sac. Southampton have the ball wide on the right hand side. Davis out of position. Sugawara with a cross into Murich's gloves. Caught it by fingertips in the end, but good handling from the Kosovan.
Yeah, excellent take.
Hutchinson skips over the lunging challenge of Fernandez, carrying the ball forward. He gives it to the right and Burns. Southampton a little bit stretched at the back. Town got many bodies forward though. They've been outnumbered. Here the Blues have it with Hutchinson. Finally, Town players jogging forward. Nobody really busting a gut to get up there. Town have had to wait. Southampton have now got themselves behind the ball for the most part, but Ipswich have it on the right hand side. Hutchinson to Burns. Burns back to Morsey. Now all 10 Southampton outfield players behind the ball. Hutchinson rolls it back into the Town half, and O'Shea gives it to Morsey. Downs almost takes it away from him. Morsey gets it back to Murich.
I'm watching those two, and Downs actually really fancies his chances of nicking the ball off for Sam Morsey all the time.
He does, doesn't he? He's really up for that.
Very,
a couple of
very
times.
eager, and he's in the blocks waiting for him to receive the ball, and he's really trying to take it off him every time.
3 minutes to go of normal time at the end of this first half. Ramsdale, terrible pass straight to Davis. Can Town capitalise? Davis, little ball to the edge of the area, blocked off, out as far as could just. Takes one touch, looked to set himself. Instead he's given it to Burns in the area. Burns hammers it towards the far corner, blocked down behind by Bednarek. Otherwise it was either destined for their far corner or about to be turned in by Smodics.
Yeah, it was going right in the direction of Sammy Smodics. It was the right thing to do. Sometimes you don't lift the ball. Sometimes a driven ball into the box will cause more danger. And on that occasion he's decided to drive it towards Sammy Smodics. Fortunately for Southampton, a defender got in the line, but had every possibility of getting through.
2.5 minutes to go until half time in this battle of two sides who've yet to win in the Premier League this season. Southampton though lead this one by 1-0. Can Ipswich Town draw level from this corner kick? It's Leif Davis, taking a while. Town just setting their targets in field. High, deep one towards the far post. Ramsdale comes back, headed towards him by Greaves, I think it was in the end. Straight into his hands.
Yeah, the usual 6v9 in the box. This one went a lot longer and was more effective, because I was watching Ramsdale. He initially thought, I can go out and get this. He started to go, changed his mind, backpedaled, and that gave Town players a chance. Greaves it was a chance to get a good header and a clear header on the ball, but he was some way from Ramsdale. We had to sort of get it absolutely perfect to beat him.
Good header won by O'Shea. Delap picking it up outside the Southampton area with a step over. Delap belts against Harwood Bellis. Back it comes to Kajust. That was travelling and might have troubled Ramsdale, but well blocked by the centre half. Town pressing, trying to get an equaliser in the closing stages of this first half. Behind at the interval as things stand. Morsey on the ball, gets away from Fernandez. O'Shea to Twanzebe. Here is Morsey again, threading it up towards Delap. Delap with a poor layoff, blocked away by Taylor. Controlled stone dead by O'Shea on halfway. Distributes it to Morsey. Morsey takes on Fernandez, looks towards Twanzebe. Fraser challenges Twanzebe. There's a head over heels. Burns then wins the ball before Fraser could regroup and get his bearings. Now Twanzebe to Hutchinson. Hutchinson might have a go, knocks it into the area. Chance for Davis inside the box. Saved by Ramsdale, low down to his right-hand post. That was a chance for Ipswich.
Yeah, excellent play. Ball in from Twanzebe to Amari Hutchinson. He knew exactly what he needed to do. Southampton were sort of light on that right-hand side of their defence. Great ball in. Great opportunity for Leif Davis. Maybe just a little bit of a poor angle.
We're about to be told that there are 2 minutes of added on time to be played at the end of this first half. That 2 minutes will start with an Ipswich Town corner kick, their sixth of this first half. Southampton have yet to have one. In it comes from Leif Davis, head up by Sugawara across the face of goal, nodded out the far end by Taylor. 7 corner kicks to 0 in Ipswich Town's favour.
Yeah, it's an amazing amount of corners to have in one half. We've really got to try and make one of them pay, you know, we really have. I think the best we've sort of come is the one before the last one, which went from this side, the right-hand side. Goalkeeper changed his mind, stopped. Jacob Greaves got a chance to get on the end of it, and it was a decent header, but he was just too far out.
Town play this corner kick short. It's pulled back by Davis to Hutchinson. Hutchinson, edge of the area, comes in field, left-footed, shoots. Oh, saved by Ramsdale. Brilliant effort from Omari Hutchinson. That was arrowed towards the top corner, and real quality from Ramsdale to preserve his clean sheet.
Much better corner. We've gone short. They refused to send anybody out on that occasion to sort of nullify it. Leif Davis finds Omari Hutchinson about 19 yards out. He cuts inside. It's a beautiful shot that, as you said, Brenner, was going into the top corner. Better working of the ball.
Another corner kick. Town's 8th of this first half. Can they draw level right on the stroke of half-time, which it pretty much will be once the referee has sorted out one or two things in that box off to our right. It's Leif Davis with this corner kick, 20 seconds and a half to go. In it comes, headed away by Bednarek, brought down by Morsey. Doesn't matter what he does with it because the referee's seen a foul on Bednarek. It's a Ramsdale free kick, and Southampton almost certain to head down the tunnel with a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, keep on. I think we've got to definitely look at our corners. On that occasion it was 10 versus 6 in the penalty area. Not very much space between any of them, and we're sort of sending the ball into the ruck, and what you saw was a Southampton player heading the ball out of the box, you know. Just a one before that, we go short, and Omari Hutchinson just takes it under control, steps inside and gets a shot away. So I think that's a better ploy.
Ramsdale with this free kick right at the end of the first half, and the Saints are marching in with a 1-0 lead over Ipswich Town, as their fans have just started to sing. But Town didn't play at all badly in that first half, did they, Mick?
No, not at all. You know, we anticipated that these two would share the possession, because that's, you know, they're evenly matched as teams, you know, and they both play the same way. They play the same system, they play the same direction of football. It's short, out from the back, keep possession, work it slowly but precisely. And you think, well, yep, both teams are, you know, they'll share it. But actually Town came out, dominated the ball, pinned Southampton back, and actually when Southampton got the ball, they were very, very untidy with it and very abusive with the passing, and it meant we were getting on more and more on top. It looked for everybody sort of that we would be the team that would take the lead. But then first visit to the attacking half from Southampton, first visit to the penalty area, to the Town goalkeeper's penalty area. One great ball into the box. It was a bad mistake by Chuanzebe, but the pass back into the box was excellent. The position taken up by Divlin was brilliant, and he didn't sort of mess around. He controlled it perfectly and stuck it away. And then you expected maybe Southampton would get the inspiration of the early goal, but no, Town took charge again, and really sort of that period was really good for them, because they've got a goal down. It hasn't affected them. They've continued to play. They've continued to dominate the ball, and it looked as if Town would be the team. And then ironically, after sort of a lot of sort of more possession in the Southampton defensive half than the Town defensive half, they get another breakaway and they get another opportunity to go 2-0. But sort of since then, the corners that you only win corners when you make a team desperate in defence, and obviously that's what we're doing, because we've won about 8 corners, and that tells you a little bit about the pattern of the game, that we're the almost team. You know, we're the almost team that can almost win this game. We've certainly just got to pick up on our real creativity. Most of our stuff is really coming from the right-hand side. Wes Burns, when we're able to get the ball to him, I think he has the beating of Charlie Taylor without question. So I think we've got to really sort of concentrate on that fully. There's not so much. We're trying to go through the middle, but I don't think, between Morsey, Cajuste and Amari Hutchinson, that hasn't worked fluently. Sammy Smoddick's on the other side. We didn't expect an awful lot of him. He tends to come inside, but Leif Davis is finding it really difficult to get away from his man, Tyler Devlin. He's tried to make the runs down that left touchline, but hasn't really been that successful. He's got one shot away, but generally speaking, I think the right has been better than the left. But for me, I think the manager's message will be just keep going. Keep it the same. Keep dominating the ball. Keep hold of the direction of the game, and just concentrate on the creativity in the last 25 yards of the pitch, and you'll be all right.
Full second half commentary to come from St Mary's when Ipswich Town will be trying to get back into this one. They trail Southampton by 1-0.
Elsewhere in the Premier League, West Ham 0, Chelsea 3, the full-time score from the lunchtime kickoff. If we time during our half-time break, we'll bring you a little bit of Enzo Maresca's thoughts off the back of that win for his side at London Stadium, putting his side up to second in the live table. Aston Villa 0, Wolves 1 at half-time. Raul Jimenez and Emile Smith-Rowe for Fulham. They lead Newcastle by 2-0. Everton are 1 up at Leicester. Liverpool 3 up at home to Bournemouth. Dominic Solanke and Brennan Johnson both on target for Tottenham, who come from behind to lead Brentford by 2-1. The 5:30 kickoff in the top flight sees Crystal Palace at home to Manchester United. In the Championship earlier today, Norwich beat Watford 4-1. Colchester are 2 up at home to Tranmere this afternoon in League 2. Non-league wise, things not going the way of Needham Market in the National League North this afternoon. Bury Town do have the lead in the Isthmian North. I believe Sudbury are all square with Telford. We'll check in on our reporters out and about in just a moment.
Angel Joseph.
1 year of Friday Nights with Angel Joseph, a show dedicated to sharing stories from the African Caribbean community.
In Nigeria, we eat it with stew, and that's like a blend of tomatoes, scotch bonnet and peppers, and meat.
Oh,
that
nice.
is the best.
What? She's been doing this for a year. Well, it's fine. No judgment. It's just your chance to catch up. There wasn't too much paparazzi out there, was there?
No, not that much. I've had a few. I have to fight them away.
The Friday night show celebrating the community we love. It's been an absolute treat to be able to do that.
Friday evenings from 7.
BBC Radio Suffolk.
You with Matchday, Ipswich Town trailing 1-0 at Southampton in our main feature this afternoon, but having a lot of the game. Edwin in Leiston says, how have we managed to have 7 corners and not seem to do anything different with them? I expect a bit more ploy, maybe a little bit of change there would do us some good. Sounds like we're on top overall, though. Thank you for that, Edwin. If you want to get in touch, 81333 on text for your thoughts on that first half. 08000 321 333 on WhatsApp. Start your messages with SFK. Let's go around the grounds locally. We'll be with Blake Bint watching Needham Market at Oxford City shortly, and Stephen Foster at AFC Sudbury. But we'll start this roundup at Bury Town, who Nick Garnham have come from behind to lead their Isthmian North match this afternoon.
Indeed they have. It's Bury Town 2, Galston 1, and 2 goals in the space of 4 first half minutes has seen Bury turn this game around at the break after an entertaining first half. Bury had a couple of early chances, Lewis O'Malley heading an Ed Upson corner onto the roof of the net, and Tom Tholborn striking the outside of the near post after reaching Ethan Mayhew's through ball. So it was against the run of play when the visitors took the lead after 12 minutes. Harley Black threading the ball into Albie Matthews, whose shot on the turn was pushed against the inside of the post by keeper Charlie Beckwith, but the ball crept over the goal line. Bury had plenty of possession, but without really threatening, until they equalised with their first effort on target after 32 minutes. Ollie Cantor getting in between the central defenders to head home a left wing Mikey Davis cross to finish off a fine team move. And 4 minutes later, they were in front. Tholborn playing a 1-2 with Max Morn before crossing low from the right for Jamal Ramadan to slide home from close range. Half-time at the Getaway Car Stadium, Bury Town 2, Galston 1.
Thanks, Nick. So Bury Town ahead. Mildenhall Town trailing in the Isthmian North this afternoon. 1-0 at home to Concord Rangers. In the FA Trophy second round of qualifying, Felixstowe and Walton United are 1-0 down at home to Enfield. Ipswich Wanderers 2-1 down away at Hadley. Newmarket Town have pulled one back against Cambridge City this afternoon, but also trail 2-1. In the National League North, Needham Market 2-0 down away at Oxford City. In the Southern Premier League Central Division, we'll hear from Stephen Foster shortly. AFC Sudbury level at 1-1 with AFC Telford United. No news of any goals for Leiston away at Barwell. It's 0-0 there. Lowestoft Town trailing 1-0 away at Kettering Town. So I mentioned Chelsea winning 3-0 away to West Ham in the Premier League's lunchtime kick-off. Nicholas Jackson scored twice. Cole Palmer got the third just after the break. Afterwards, the Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca spoke with Martin Fisher.
Enzo, a happy return to you to the London Stadium. Could it have gone any better for you?
It's been a good game, a good result. Also, the clean sheet has been important. But as I said many times, we have many things to improve. We can attack better, we can defend better, but overall we are in the right direction.
2 more goals for Nicholas Jackson. How pleased were you with the way he finished those? Because he had quite a bit of time in both instances to decide exactly what he was going to do.
We are 100% happy with the Nicholas. I already said that before the game. He's working since I arrived here, he's working very good. On the ball in terms of numbers, goal and assist. Off the ball, the way he works. Today he has been important because he scored twice, but also in main call they did a fantastic job off the ball, and we are very happy.
You had to play another centre-half at right-back today. How did you feel Wesley performed in that role, which is an unusual role for him?
No, absolutely. He did very well. The reason why we changed him, first of all, because we need to protect a little bit him for his injury last year, but also because it was a yellow card. But he did fantastic.
Are you in a better position than you anticipated after 5 games? 10 points on the board already. Is that exceeding your expectations before a ball had been kicked this season?
The points are important because they are important. But in this moment, the most important thing and the main focus for me is the way we progress. And as I said, I think we are in the right direction, but there are many things that we can do better.
It is difficult to be critical when you've won 3-0 away from home, but do you feel in the end you could have won more emphatically, perhaps been even more ruthless in front of goal second half?
It's not about critical, it's just about things that we can improve. I think we can attack better, we can defend better, but especially we can manage better the moment. Sometimes we can do more passes, keep the ball. But it's process and we are learning.
Enzo Maresca speaking after a big win for his Chelsea side this afternoon. 3-0 away at West Ham United. Nicholas Jackson with a brace inside the opening 20 minutes. Cole Palmer with the third and final goal of the game on 47 minutes. We'll be back with Brenna Woolley and Mick Mills shortly at St Mary's for full second half commentary of Ipswich Town away at Southampton. It's the home side who lead by 0-0. Tyler Dibbling on target in the opening 5 minutes. Elsewhere, Aston Villa 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Fulham 2 up at home to Newcastle United. Newcastle still haven't been beaten in the Premier League this season, but looks like that might be about to change. Everton are 1 up away at Leicester this afternoon. Liverpool leading AFC Bournemouth by 3-0. Tottenham have come from behind to lead Brentford by 2-1. Non-league wise, we've heard from Nick Garnham watching at Bury Town this afternoon, coming from behind to lead Galston by 2-1. Mildenhall Town trailing 1-0 at home to Concord Rangers. In the National League North, Needham Market playing bottom of the table Oxford City this afternoon, but they are trailing by 2-0. AFC Sudbury are 1-1 with AFC Telford United. Leiston goalless away at Barwell. Lowestoft Town 1-0 down this afternoon away at Kettering Town.
Southampton lose the ball, trying to be overly elaborate. Burns, good-looking ball into the box, a chance. It's wide from Smoddock, sliding in. But again, that was typical Southampton play, just overplaying things. Ipswich Town were on them in a flash. Loose from Twanzebe. Southampton have the ball just outside the Ipswich area with Lallana. Lallana's good ball into the box to Dibbling! 1-0 Southampton! His first professional goal for the 18-year-old. And it was very poorly given away by Twanzebe. The dream start for Southampton, who've yet to get a point on the board this season. They lead Ipswich down by 1 Goal to nil. Nothing Murich could do about that one. Burns, one touch, thought about the cross, and she gets it in left-footed. Free header, straight at the goalkeeper. Wouldn't have counted. The flag was up against Smodics. Lovely play again from Burns, picking out Smodics for the second time in this game. Dibbling with a little ball through the middle. Lovely ball from Dibbling. Archer in a goal for 2-0 Southampton. Goes round the goalkeeper. Hits the post. Murich drops on it. Oh, what a let-off that was for Ipswich Town. Twanzebe to Hutchinson. Hutchinson might have a go, knocks it into the area. Chance for Davis inside the box. Saved by Ramsdale, low down to his right-hand post. Town play this corner kick short. It's pulled back by Davis to Hutchinson. Hutchinson, edge of the area, comes in field. Left-footed shoots. Oh, saved by Ramsdale. Brilliant effort from Omari Hutchinson. That was arrowed towards the top corner, and real quality from Ramsdale to preserve his clean sheet.
You've probably got a list of things your child needs for uni. Pans, cutlery, sheets, duvet, towels, you know. But this is a little reminder that they'll also need a TV licence to be covered to watch all the TV channels, live TV on streaming services and BBC iPlayer. On the downside, it's one more thing on your list. On the upside, you can continue to enjoy your favourite shows together on the family group chat. And they won't be bringing it home to be washed either. To find out more, search TV Licence Uni.
Just before we rejoin Brenna Woolley and Mick Mills at St Mary's, I'm going to give you a cricket update, and this is your F1 qualifying spoiler alert as well. I'm going to bring you results from that in just a moment as well. But first, the cricket. It's the second one-day international between England and Australia at Headingley. England chasing 271 to win. The Aussies all out relatively cheaply for just 270 earlier today, but England's chase is not going well. They were 65 for 5 a few moments ago. They've moved on to 84 for 5. Ben Duckett with most of those. He made 32 from 25 balls at the moment. Jamie Smith at the crease alongside Jacob Bethel. Smith unbeaten on 17, Bethel on 8. As far as the F1 is concerned, Lando Norris beat title rival Max Verstappen to pole position in a dramatic qualifying session at the Singapore Grand Prix. Norris 0.203 seconds quicker than Verstappen, with the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton and George Russell in third and fourth places. A reminder, you can get in touch at full time after our main feature at St Mary's, 0800 141 2121 to speak to me and Mick Mills. Hopefully we'll be talking about a comeback win for Ipswich Town, because as we rejoin Mick and Brenna Woolley, Town are trailing 1-0.
Second half just about to get underway. Town have got Murich in goal off to our right, a back for Twanzebe, O'Shea, Greaves and Davis. Then it's Morsey, the captain, alongside Kajust, Burns, Hutchinson, Smodics in support of Delap. On the bench, Walton, Hurst, Chaplin, Johnson, Clark, Taylor, Ogbeni, Luongo, Townsend. That's Jack Clark, incidentally. No changes at half-time, by the way. Ramsdale is in possession of the ball, the Southampton goalkeeper. The back four, Sugawara, Harwood, Bellis, Bednarek and Taylor. Then they've got Downs and Lallana as a 2. Then it's Dibbling, the goal scorer, Fernandez and Fraser. Their striker is Archer. On the bench, McCarthy, Walker-Peters, Wood, Aribo, Ugachukwu, Cornet, Armstrong, Stewart and Brereton. Diaz. Town in blue, white, blue. In glorious sunny conditions here at St Mary's, playing from right to left, so we'll get a good view of any Town goals in the second half. We are to the left of the halfway line, a lot closer to Ramsdale's box than the one which Murich is standing on the edge of off to our right. Southampton in red and white stripes with black shorts, white socks. Not a massive amount in that first half. If anything, Town the better side really, but a poor goal given away, well taken, involving Lallana and this man Dibbling, and of course they hit the post later on, but Town were more than decent. They'll be confident they can get something from this game and at least go 3 draws in a row, but don't rule out a comeback win for them, because if Town get level, the fans won't be very pleased here at Southampton. Some of them will already be counting their chickens and thinking about their first Premier League win of the season. Well, we know what Town have got about them in terms of their mindset and mentality. Southampton are a long, long way from the finishing line with only 90 seconds gone. And probably 90% possession for them in this second half, it has to be said. Pinging the ball around inside their half as Lallana puts it through the legs of Downs to Taylor in the shade of the stand opposite. Now playing it between their 2 centre-halves, Southampton. Town literally just chasing shadows down there in front of us. But they are prone to the odd error. Town pressing. Eventually Southampton clear to the halfway line. Archer nods it back, but only to Smodics. Towed away by Sugawara, who's been policing Smodic since 3 o'clock. Now O'Shea's on the ball for Ipswich Town.
Well, they were very patient on the ball. We were very patient off the ball, and in the end they played a loose pass and we seized upon it.
Davis, well played. Nice turn from Smodic. Threads it up towards Hutchinson, just behind Delap. Town still have the ball outside the Southampton area. Delap gives it to Twanzebe. Twanzebe inside the box for the overlapping Burns. Just taken away from him. Looks to have come off of him as well, Burns. As Fraser touched it on to the flying Town wide man. It's a goal kick to Ramsdale, but that was a situation Town should have done a lot better from.
Yeah, it was a good situation to get into. The ball down sort of towards the byline was a decent one, but I thought that Fraser did really well. He had to sort of make sure his challenge was a good one. He did that, and in the end he didn't give a goal kick away. He didn't give a corner away. He got himself a goal kick, so did well.
Little layoff from Lallana, who's having a good game in midfield, showing his experience and undoubted quality. Your thoughts welcome before 6 o'clock on match day. 0800 141 2121 to have a chat to Graham and Mick, or text 81333. Start those messages SFK. Also start your WhatsApps with SFK to 08000 321 333. And if you want to get in touch with me ahead of the Blue Hour on Monday, I'll give you the email address in a second. Downs trying to get a player through the centre. Archer in on goal. Good save from Muric, and then belted out behind by Kajust for Southampton's first corner kick. But that was very, very close to Southampton's second goal.
Well, it was one wonderful play by Flynn Downs. I mean, he's got himself possession of the ball, and his pass into the Town box was absolutely perfect for Archer. He should have scored Southampton's second goal, really, but good goalkeeping in the end.
Well, it's bizarre, but for that save from Muric, which was a good one, and the post in the first half, it could be 3-0 Southampton, which would really be not an accurate reflection of this game whatsoever. But a warning to Town early in the second half there. 4 minutes gone in the Southampton sunshine. Sugawara with this corner kick wide right, in from him into the Ipswich area, headed away by O'Shea. Diving to keep Southampton in possession was Harwood Bellis. Downs to Lallana. Lallana with a drag back, takes Delap out of the game, then feeds it square to Harwood Bellis. Forward on the far side to Taylor, the left back, now with Downs on halfway. Southampton pressing to the halfway line. The red and white stripes have it. Yeah, the email to get in touch with me on the Blue Hour, or any time in the week to talk matters Ipswich Town, is brenner@bbc.co.uk. Your thoughts always welcome. BRENNER @bbc.co.uk. I look forward to chatting to you on Monday between 6 and 7, hopefully, about Ipswich Town's first win of the season. Ramsdale up towards Archer on the halfway line. Holds it up well for Fernandez, but then Morsey wins it back. Morsey's done well, finding Delap. Delap out to the right-hand side. Really good play from him under all sorts of pressure. Players all over him. Twanzebe back to Kajust. It's activity off the Southampton bench at the moment. Greaves finds Kajust. Downs is quickly onto him. Kajust's done very well. Delap to the left-hand side. Davis, what can he do from this wide left position? In comes his cross, headed away though by Fraser, one of the smallest men on the field. Town have a chance to regroup. Kajust knocks it back into the Saints box. Ramsdale's come a long way. Oh, it was worthwhile. He judged that well. Got his hands on the ball, a good 16 yards, if not more, off his goal line. Lallana over the top, trying to utilise the pace of Archer to get away from O'Shea. Perfect weight on the ball from Lallana. Archer's got it, cutting in field, edge of the box. Still Cameron Archer. Thought about hitting it. The Blues are back en masse. Southampton go again down the right-hand side with Dibbling. Definitely a danger. Dibbling dinks it forward. Up in the air from Greaves. A spinning ball is dealt with by Greaves himself. Little popped header down to Smodics. Smodics clips it up towards Delap. Delap holds it up, but beaten by Harwood Bellis. Good battle between those two, but it's a foul on Delap, holding the back of his head, which has angered the home crowd. They're kicking a yellow card for Harwood Bellis.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I didn't even think it was a free kick, but that was a good attacking play from Southampton again, and you know, we've just got to sort of find our way back into this territorially and in possession of the ball. I think the Southampton have had far too much of the ball in the second half so far.
3-0 win for Chelsea at West Ham at lunchtime. Town go to West Ham in a couple of weeks' time after Aston Villa at home next Saturday. Full match commentary of that. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff. The visit of Unai Emery's side. Impressive win for them in the Champions League in the week, but they were trailing to Wolves earlier on this afternoon in that West Midlands derby in the Premier League. Ball flies out far side for a throw-in. Town have got to find a bit more when they get into attacking positions. Maybe now. Tuanzebe throws the ball to Hutchinson. Hutchinson coming forward, ball into the box. Chance for Smodics. Smodics into the side netting. Almost ready to celebrate. That was a good chance, good break. Nice little potential assist from Hutchinson, threading the ball through to Smodics, who possibly should have done better.
Yeah, nice quick throw in. Good position taken up by Murray Hutchinson. And he also let the ball go past him. And then once he got that little bit of freedom, you expected something from him, and it was a good set-up play. Sammy Smodics made a good run in the box, but his finish didn't match the run.
O'Shea's now a yellow card for that rather rash challenge from behind on Archer. Archer, who was with Sheffield United last season, had a bizarre transfer window, was bought by Aston Villa, which is his original club. This is this summer for 15 million, and then they sold him on to Southampton. So very strange. Ended one season with one club, had a bit of pre-season at another, then started at a different club. None of them loan moves. But Greaves rather threw everything into that challenge. It was always going to be penalised, because we've got to the point of the game where the referee does start to dish out yellow cards for maybe one or two things that he would have turned a blind eye to in the first period. Ramsdale, disguised little push ball forward to Lallana. Downs gives it to Bednarek. On the left-hand side, Southampton have it with Lallana through a little gap to Downs. Downs controls it, then drives up to the halfway line. The captain of Southampton, the number 4, draws in Tuanzebe, gives it to Taylor. Taylor around the back for Fraser. Arms are aloft in the air for Town, appealing for the offside. And the man with the checkered flag agrees.
Yeah, nice play by Southampton to come out down the left-hand side, but that was definitely, the run was going too early. The ball was sent when he was in an offside position. It's just cat and mouse at the moment, really. It's both teams trying to dominate the possession, and Southampton probably have had more than Ipswich in this half so far, but Town are beginning to come.
Referee plays an advantage. Smodics upended. Ball over the top from Sugawara to Fernandez, the Portuguese, inside the Ipswich Town area with time and space. Across the face of goal for Archer, who misses it. He was trying to touch it off any part of his footwear into what was then an empty net, but thankfully his studs weren't long enough.
Well, it was a fabulous ball. He's got into a good position, but I'm going to judge this as a shot. I don't think this is a cross. I think he's hit the shot. I've seen it again, I'm not sure. Could be either. But it was a great position to get in. It was 2v1 for Southampton inside our box.
Town subs warming up on the near side. Jack Clark, Chaplin, Ogbenny, Taylor, Hurst. They'd liven up the front six. You see most of those, if not all of them, at some stage, particularly if things stay as they are. Taylor, the more likely change for Kajust at 1-0, because I wouldn't have thought the Swede will have 90 minutes in the tank. How Portsmouth boy Chapman would love to come on here and make an impact. Ball over the top for Sugawara, who goes after this one, and the flag was always going to go up against him eventually. It was just a matter of time, and we had to wait quite a while for the time.
It was taunting us again, the linesman. Obviously offside.
Another goal at Craven Cottage, a lifeline for Newcastle. Fulham 2, Newcastle 1. Newcastle unbeaten so far this season. Just almost robbed by Fernandez, then he's tripped by the Portuguese. As I say, he's got a feisty character, up for the battle of English football. Kajust plays a short free kick to Greaves, back with Kajust. Now Davis, closed down by Sugawara, gives him a little sly elbow in the back as the referee turned his head away from that challenge to Davis. Can Ipswich Town at least find an equaliser? Only played 11 minutes in the second half, long way to go. Tuanzebe over the top towards Burns. Nice control on his right boot up against Taylor. Had the beating of him early in the first half. Burns takes him on again. Low ball into the area, directed away by the right instep of Harwood Bellis, pretty much on the penalty spot. Town win the ball back. Tuanzebe on the right to Hutchinson outside the area. Good block by Bednarek. Really good defending. Archer infield to Fernandez. Fernandez gives it to Lallana. Lallana to Dibbling. Dibbling in flies Jacob Greaves. Good sliding challenge. Wins the ball well. Fernandez pulled to the ground by Davis. Free kick. Davis looks towards the referee as Fernandez, I thought, was about to do a third roll on the floor.
Yeah, just prior to all this little bit of movement, that was a fabulous sort of go towards the ball by Westburn, spin and get the ball over the top. He did it really well, and he's actually just coming into a game. You know, I thought he was very quiet down at Brighton and didn't really sort of achieve very much. And today, I think he's getting closer to what we saw on a regular basis last season.
Two strikers coming on for Southampton, Ben Brereton Diaz and the rarely seen Ross Stewart, who signed from Sunderland last summer, but is yet to start for Southampton. Had a terrible time with injuries, the Scottish striker. Just 4 appearances last season. Triple change in total. Southampton, Lallana is coming off to be replaced by Leslie Ugachukwu, player on loan from Chelsea, Frenchman in midfield. I would imagine Archer is going to be one of the men to make way for either Brereton Diaz or Stewart. Ryan Fraser, his afternoon is up. He's going to be replaced by Stewart, I think, albeit they're different sorts of player. But Russell Martin's blinked first. He's the one making changes. Kieran McKenna will no doubt be spurred into action. And Ben Brereton Diaz, hoping that his run is going to end. He holds the Premier League record for 18 appearances without a single win, Ben Brereton Diaz. That was confirmed last weekend, the defeat to Manchester United. And it is Archer going off. Hit the post. Another effort saved. Brereton Diaz comes on. Started at Forest. Went to Blackburn. Tony Mowbray signed him there. He's been at Villarreal the last couple of seasons. Chilean international without really getting looking there. Was on loan at Sheffield United. That's where he mounted up a number of games without a win. And of course he started this season without a win in 4 at Southampton. Cost $7 million in the summer. So it's more of a front two, really, although Brereton Diaz will drift off to the left-hand side. He and Stewart are both very much number 9s. The changes for Town are going to see Taylor coming on. Jack Taylor probably for Jens Kajust. And Jack Clark potentially for Sam Smodics, maybe. Oh, Benny's also been out in recent times, actually still is with Chapman in front of us. He'll come on for Burns at some stage probably. Ramsdale has the ball inside his area, most of it shrouded now in shade. Southampton lead 1-0 on BBC Radio Suffolk. Downs has gone well to turn, motor through the gears, gives it to Stewart, to the left-hand side, Taylor. There's the long-haired Ben Brereton Diaz, infield to Fernandez. As ever, the Town substitutes taken on board plenty of information from Mark Hudson, Lee Grant, and now Kieran McKenna's chatting and pointing to Jack Taylor. Ramsdale, poor pass straight to Hargreaves, who controls it for Morsey. Morsey to Hutchinson. Hutchinson tries to find Kajust, intercepted there by Stewart. Ugachukwu has a touch. Hutchinson dives in on Stewart, who's now rolling around on the deck. Amari Hutchinson is running a risk of getting a caution for that challenge. Yes, he is. Cost Chelsea £23 million, Leslie Ugachukwu from Rennes. There is confirmation of Kajust's full Premier League debut coming to an end, and it is indeed Smodics. So Smodics and Kajust off, Taylor and Jack Clark on. Clark's going to make his full league debut for Ipswich Town, as Harwood Bellis has this free kick at the back for Southampton, still leading 1-0, 61 minutes played. He goes long, Harwood Bellis, away from Brereton Diaz, and back with Muric. Taylor for Town, to the left-hand side, Leif Davis. Good for Jack Taylor to be getting involved again. He saw a fair bit of traffic in his way, but now the injury to Phillips means he's going to get probably half an hour's worth of action here this afternoon. Muric out to Morsey. Morsey plays it straight towards O'Shea. Axel Tuanzebe of Ipswich Town to Wes Burns, down the line to Hutchinson. He could, whilst he's on the field, be a creative spark for Town. I feel Amari Hutchinson did the damage here last year. Here he is on the ball on halfway. Skips away from one challenge, gets it to Taylor. He gives it to Delap, who's challenged from behind by Bednarek. His body's flying in far side. Bednarek gets the ball up to Fernandez. In dives Taylor. The referee's seen enough, and now it's all rather kicking off on the far side. Taylor sparked that, other players getting involved. The referees dragged Jack Taylor away for a word, and players are going to have to try and sort it all out themselves, which they have done. It's all calmed down now. Ramsdale was quickly amongst it. Fernandez is on the deck. All just blew up there.
Yeah, it was for nothing really. I think that it's sheer frustration. I think
Downs has got a yellow card,
involved, so it's not so much of a surprise. But he's pleading his innocence. I didn't see what he did wrong, but it did. We got one in the book as well. So Delap has gone in.
Flynn was most put out by his reaction. He was fairly innocent in all of that, but there was no way both Downs and Morsey were going to get through this game without a yellow card, and thankfully it's the Southampton man whose name is in the book first. It's all calmed down. Free kick to Southampton, who still lead 1-0, 27 minutes plus away from it. A big victory for them on their return to the Premier League.
To be honest, Flynn Downs was the peacemaker there. Very unlucky.
Dibbling's touch lets him down for once. I think Town are going to make some more changes. Of course, with this win, Southampton will climb above Ipswich Town in the early table, if things stay as they are. Davis with a throw towards Delap. Delap holds the ball up, then goes down against Harwood Bellis. Free kick. It's been a heck of a battle between those two former Manchester City players.
Yeah, very much so.
Davis to Greaves. Morsey back to Greaves once again. Davis on this near side, turns it on. Downs is in the way. Back it goes to Harwood Bellis. Slips it to Morsey, accidentally of course. Morsey to Hutchinson. Hutchinson coming forward for Ipswich Town. Holds it up, can't thread it to Taylor. Given away by Bednarek. Hutchinson trying to win it back. He does, but he's caught his man late. Just got to watch it, Amari. Been on a yellow card.
Yeah, it's a little bit untidy by both teams. I mean, a little bit desperate. Town are getting a little bit desperate with, wanting to get on with things, wanting to get this goal back. Southampton are really sort of trying to keep composed, but aren't able to do it. But got to be careful. I think there's a little bit of throwing down of the players. I thought that Liam Delap threw himself down by the touchline here for a free kick, and I think this one was more of a throw down onto the ground without there necessarily being a bad tackle by Amari Hutchinson.
It's an even bigger win this for Southampton if they do hold on, bearing in mind they've got to go to both Arsenal and Manchester City in the next 4 games. Tough fixtures on the horizon for them. They also play those two in the run-in, both here. It's the last 2 games here at home actually are against Arsenal and Manchester City. On the halfway line, Tuanzebe gives it towards Hutchinson, still looking lively and creative, the former Chelsea player. Burns low into the box, deflected by Ugochukwu. Back towards his goalkeeper. Tall boy in the centre of the field, the number 26 who's just come on.
Yeah, good break by Town there. We won the ball back and we sort of got on with things, and we've got the ball through to Wes Burns. Ball into the box, didn't come of anything, but it's really, we need the tempo to be really picked up now.
Of course, these were the last 2 teams to go back-to-back promotions from League One to the Championship to the Premier League. Southampton did it in 2012 under Nigel Adkins. Dibbling, the match winner as things stand, gives it back to Bednarek on halfway. Taylor up towards Fernandez. Downs tries to get Brereton Diaz away. Not the best of passes. O'Shea clears forward for Ipswich Town. Bednarek is underneath this one. Delap goes after him and barges into him from behind. Had a play for a throw to Ipswich on the far side of the field. Johnson, Ogbeni and Chaplin watch on near side the subs. There is Tuanzebe. Back to Sam Morsey. Kieran McKenna shielding his eyes from the sunlight down in front of us. live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Give us your thoughts afterwards. 0800 141 2121, the phone number. Text 81333. So there's messages SFK if you want to be part of the Blue Hour on Monday night with myself. Brenner at bbc.co.uk is the email. I'd love to hear from you. There is Tuanzebe. Can't go forward. Held up by Fernandez. Infield comes Morsey. Morsey driving through the middle. Gives it to Delap. Delap's touches just away from Hutchinson. Cleared out by Taylor on the far side. Another throw to Southampton, but only once the referee has checked on the well-being of Flynn Downs. We'll get Kieran McKenna's thoughts on air as well before 6 o'clock tonight, and hopefully catch up with an Ipswich Town player. If we don't hear from the player tonight, that will definitely be on the Blue Hour on Monday. Little break in play for the injury to Downs, but he's up and he's on the go again. Throw from Tuanzebe, chested down by Burns. Jack Clark yet to get in the game near side, although at the moment he's drifted into a central area. O'Shea of Ipswich out again looking for Burns. Burns with a header down to Hutchinson. Downs is all over it. The referee says nothing wrong with that, though. Downs gets the ball back off Ugachukwu, then gives it to Fernandez. Still full of running. Brereton Diaz infield to Downs. They progress play well, Southampton. They got it neatly into the Ipswich Town half of the field. Harwood Bellis to the right, Sugawara. In comes his cross, looks a good one, well defended by O'Shea. Difficult one to deal with. Murricks didn't know whether to stick or twist. O'Shea got underneath it and headed it out, but the flag had gone up. It wouldn't have counted, but still, Darragh O'Shea wasn't to know that.
Yeah, I think it was offside, but you know, I think that Town are doing the right thing now. They're trying to play a little bit quicker, a little bit more positive, and trying to sort of, you know, inject some pace into the game. Southampton will want to play very casual, like they've been doing, and controlled, whereas it's not really, you know, we haven't sort of benefited from that type of game, so we want it to be end to end, if anything.
Taylor to Delap. Delap holds it up well in the centre circle. Brilliant play from Delap, then out to the left-hand side. Plays it to Sugawara rather than Davis. And had promised Sugawara in field. He's given it back to Ipswich Town. That's catching. A sliding challenge from Sugawara. Didn't really touch Jack Taylor at all. He just walked away from him. Tuanzebe to Hutchinson. Slightly behind Wes Burns. Wes Burns keeps the ball in though. Back to the halfway line. O'Shea, out goes George Hurst for a sprint. Surely we'll see him at some point in the next 5 minutes or so. Here is Greaves. 1-0 Southampton. Oh, Greaves straight to Sugawara. Caught in two minds whether to find Davis or Clark, and he played the ball in between the pair of them. Dibbling just holding his position on that right-hand side of attack. Connor Chapman chatting away to Adam Armstrong down in front of us, two of the substitutes. There is Ben Brereton Diaz. Here he is once more at left back in open play. Out to Ugachukwu. Burns tries to get away from... Downs trying to get away from Burns. Southampton eventually came away with the ball. Yeah, Hurst's taken off his vest and tracksuit top. So too Chaplin. And they're about to come on, those two. Brereton Diaz finds Downs. Downs back to Harwood Bellis. Southampton get the ball up to the halfway line with Sugawara. Still 20 minutes to go in this game. Plenty of time for Town to pull this one back and get something from it. Maybe not if Southampton get a second goal. That's what they're trying to do now. Sugawara into the middle. Maybe chance for Brereton Diaz. Well defended by Tuanzebe. Downs hits it straight off of O'Shea. That was travelling. Difficult to say whether it was on target or not from that kind of distance.
Well, it looked as if it would be on target, and also certainly underneath the crossbar. So, you know, it's a good strike from Flynn Downs, but good block, good defending.
Dibbling cutting in field, getting away from Davis and from Jack Clark. Dibbling, oh, lovely play, but it just away from Stewart. Unlucky. Talented boy, this Dibbling.
A very good player, and he's about as casual as what Matt Letizia was.
Similar, isn't he? He's really gifted. Burns on the right-hand side, shaped to cross. Foxed a couple of Saints players. Still 1-0 Southampton. Hutchinson now on that far touchline. Coming in field. Back it goes to Morsey. Southampton will know they're still in a game. They'll remember the Sarmiento moment last season. There is Greaves, especially their supporters. Jack Clark, first time he's won the ball. He's robbed by Dibbling. Southampton, another string to his bow. Dibbling, lovely ball forward to Stewart with those long legs of his. Tries to take it away from Greaves. Greaves has got back at him. Stewart's inside the area though. Back to goal, might need support. Also having a little nibble is Jack Taylor. Stewart's done well, infield to Ugachukwu. Drops his shoulder outside the box, loses the ball. Good interception from Taylor. Now it's opened up. Jack Clark gives it to Hutchinson. Out to the right-hand side, Burns, end-to-end. Burns carrying the charge for Ipswich Town down the right-hand side. Want to take on Taylor. Taylor's trying to show him down the line. Taylor's held him up. Back it goes to Hutchinson. Hutchinson tries to skip away from Downs. Back to the right-hand side, and Twanzebe pokes it to Hutchinson. Hutchinson comes into the area, right of centre. Town looking for an equaliser. Tries to get his cross in. Come off of the Southampton defender, and Town win the first corner kick of the second half, but the 9th overall.
Yeah, good play down that right-hand side. First of all, Wes Burns threatening, and then Amari Hutchinson coming into it, and he more than threatened. He nearly got himself clear towards the byline and got the ball in, but it's been blocked for a corner kick. Good play down that right-hand side.
Delap coming off, and it's two former Portsmouth players coming on for Ipswich Town. George Hurst replaces Delap. A few of the Southampton fans recognised that and were booing. There's the boos for Hurst. And on comes Chaplin as the other player who has replaced Wes Burns. So Hutchinson will go across the right-hand side. Chaplin will play in behind Hurst.
Well, I think Amari Hutchinson will probably go right side, and Connor Chaplin will probably...
17 minutes to go at St Mary's. Corner kick to Ipswich Town. They still trail 1-0. Attacking the goal off to our left-hand side. Just made that double change. Hurst and Chaplin just on. It's their first involvement. Jack Clark's in the D. 5 or 6 blue shirts in and around Ramsdale, packing that penalty area. Davis curls this corner kick in. Headed away by Taylor. As far as Dibbling plays it off Clark, but there's a foul awarded for a shove in the back of Taylor, and that's a free kick which Ramsdale can take for Southampton, probably at his leisure, because Saints have got a man down inside their penalty box.
Yeah, I think with the change, Brenner, that Wes Burns is off. I think, Amari Hutchinson to go down the right-hand side, Connor Chaplin to go into his usual position as being the number 10.
Here comes Ogbene for a jog on this near side of the field. Kieran McKenna making the most of a little opportunity to have a word with his players. What's your gut feeling on which way this is going to go? Final quarter of an hour approaching.
It could go either way, really could. It's very much, this is the first time for the whole game. It's very much end to end, and you do get that in matches, like this, where the possession side of it, the tidiness and the control tends to be sort of thrown away. You've got one team, Southampton, really, they know how important it is that if they can get a second at this time of the game, it's almost curtains Ipswich Town, and it'll be 3 points Southampton. But you know that it's in Ipswich's mind that if they can snatch one, not only do they get a point back, but there also might be a springboard to sort of hitting a late minute winner, so they've got something in mind, and obviously the home team have got something in mind, and when they're both thinking in this way, it becomes end to end. The patient side of it goes out of the window.
Yeah, I wouldn't rule out a second goal in this game. Well, I have no idea which way it's going to go, but it will be huge if we do have a second goal to add to Tyler Dibbling's opener just 5 minutes into this game. Free kick to Southampton, which Ramsdale is going to be taken for foul on Taylor's, an injury to Bednarek, which rather extended that break in play. Belted along by Ramsdale, one in the air by Twanzebe, knocked forward by Fernandez of Southampton. Stewart's going to try and deal with a ball that eventually comes down to earth, being impeded. Davis can just hook the ball out near side for a throw to 10-man Southampton, although they should be able to get up to their full 11 now with Bednarek primed and ready for action. Sugawara ahead of this game, the only player that scored a league goal for the Saints, has this throw in for them. Big moment for them. They get their first clean sheet this afternoon. Short from Sugawara, then knocks it forward after it being given back to him by Ugachukwu. No nonsense defending from Greaves. Good header away from the former Hull player. Stewart brings it down for Brereton Diaz. There's Fernandez. Brereton Diaz inside the area trying to get away from Tuanzebe. Well defended by Tuanzebe. Eventually Brereton Diaz got his shot, but it was blocked by the former Manchester United man. Fernandez feigned the cross. Eventually gives it back to Downs. On halfway it's Bednarek finding Sugawara. 13 minutes to go exactly. Dibbling up against Davis, overlapping Sugawara. Ball into the middle, and it's Tuanzebe. Excellent defending from him to get it away from Brereton Diaz. That was superb from Axel Tuanzebe. Dibbling turns, gets nudged over by Jack Clark. Free kick to Southampton in a good crossing position.
Yeah, he's a good player, this Dibbling. He's a sensible player. He doesn't go for the glory thing, you know. On that pass down the side of the box was excellent. It was a perfect choice. It was an unselfish choice.
Just stretching his calves. Tiring. He did play some minutes at Goodison in the week. Southampton getting through to the next round of the Carabao Cup on penalties. When Russell Martin made 11 changes for that match, and it didn't go to extra time, it went straight to pens. As Ipswich Town fans will remember from a few weeks ago at Wimbledon, of course, so no threat of tiredness from this Saints team this afternoon. Free kick to Southampton, wide right, just a couple of yards in from the touchline. Chance to bend the ball into the Ipswich Town penalty area and potentially kill off this game. Dibbling and Sugawara are over this set piece. Forward comes Sugawara and knocks it in towards the far post. Muric comes for it. Good hands, well done. Good, strong, commanding goalkeeping from him.
Yeah, good, excellent keeping. He's done what he has to do, but I think the ball in was had no future on it whatsoever. I think the two of them, I would have just touched the ball to Dibbling if I'd been his right fullback and backing him up on that occasion. I'll give it to him and let him just walk the ball up to the lone defender in front of him.
I think Adam Armstrong's going to be coming on for Southampton. Just the 24 goals for him last season. So Stewart, Brereton Diaz and Armstrong are all going to be on the field. Armstrong will go wide, possibly in place of Dibbling. Ball forward for Ipswich Town. Hutchinson, can he get there ahead of Ramsdale? No. Former colleague at the Emirates Stadium won that one and belted it up to halfway. Ugachukwu with a nod down. Downs with a flick. Brereton Diaz infield to Fernandez. Finding a little gap to Ugachukwu. Here is Fernandez on halfway. Oh, he nutmegs Jack Clark. Home fans enjoyed that. Like the look of him out to the right hand side. Dibbling, I've certainly liked the look of this lad. Dibbling lets the ball go beyond him, then gets into the area, still has it. In comes his left-footed cross, belted away by Connor Chaplin on a volley. Not very far away at all though. Jack Clark rises inside his penalty area, nodded off the edge of the box by another sub, Taylor. Harwood Bellis to Sugawara. Sugawara's ball into the box to Fernandez. Fernandez goes square. Brereton Diaz over the top for the first time hit from 16 yards.
Good play, very good play down this right-hand side, and they've set the shot up perfectly. They really have, and that actually looked as if it had been struck correctly, but it was rising up and over the crossbar. But it was an opportunity, good chance, half chance.
I think Ben Johnson might be about to come on for Ipswich Town. Chaplin to Hutchinson on that right-hand side, now occupying the Burns position. Hutchinson, Morsey down the middle towards Hurst. Hurst, a little clever nod back to Davis in the D outside the box on his right foot, didn't fancy it. Hutchinson inside the box for Ipswich Town. He hoists it towards the far post. Jack Clark is there, so too Hurst. Just kept in play by Ramsdale. Clark pulls it back with way too much on that. Kept in by Tuanzebe. Town can keep up the pressure. Amari Hutchinson, first time cross. It looks a good one. Hurst with a glancing header, just didn't get enough on it. Had he done, that would have been very interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was had lots of possibilities about it, and then Jack Clark seemed to, Ramsdale couldn't actually take it out the area, but he actually kept the ball in, and I don't know why he did that, but Jack Clark appeared to mess it up, and then all of a sudden we recycled the play, and that was a dangerous moment. Good header from Hurst.
Off goes Dibbling to a standing ovation. What an afternoon he's had. Might have got Southampton's first Premier League game-winning goal. And it's Adam Armstrong's come on from down the right-hand side. Not a bad front three. Brereton Diaz, Stewart and Armstrong. The Town change is imminent. It's Johnson rather than Ogbeni who's been brought on. Tuanzebe, the player who is making way for Ben Johnson.
I'm pleased to see Devlin gone off.
Yeah, I am as well. Let's go back to Graham. 1-0 Southampton.
Villa level with Wolves 1-1. Leicester level with Everton 1-1.
Oh, wow.
Oh, dear.
You wouldn't bet against Leicester now getting a winner. Nor Villa as well. But no equaliser here, sadly, with around about 8 minutes to go. Kieran McKenna's thoughts to come before 6 o'clock on match day. As Ramsdale belts it right-footed straight down the field. O'Shea wins a header, controlled by Taylor. Taylor to Hutchinson. Back to Johnson on the far side of the field. Johnson gives it to Hutchinson of Ipswich Town. Back to the halfway line, and Dara O'Shea. Morsey, very deep, finds Jack Clark. Then to Greaves. Greaves, a little drag back away from Armstrong. Good defending from Greaves. Taylor, I thought he'd saw Johnson a bit short. Brereton Diaz could have, if he'd been a bit quicker out of the blocks, got that ball potentially. He wasn't though. Hutchinson up towards Hurst. This touch finds Bednarek, sadly. Brereton Diaz in field to Downs. Downs bypasses Morsey. Fernandez running forward for Southampton, goes down lightly. Never a free kick. Oh, maybe it was simply because Jack Taylor isn't complaining about the referee's whistle or the subsequent yellow card. He clearly was leaning on or pulling back Fernandez, so caution for Taylor.
Yeah, that was a possibility of a good break there, but I was just impressed with Flynn Downs again, how he tidied that situation up over on the far side there. There was a lot of bodies around them. They were trying to sort of just come out and get some daylight. It goes to Flynn, and he has the presence to change the play. You know, he's a much improved player.
Yeah, he is. Always had that potential. We liked him from the word go when he first came into the Ipswich Town side. He always looked one that might go on. He's had a good career so far. Free kick to Southampton, good 35 yards from goal. Looks a confident chap, Fernandez, but I think he's confident enough to hit it from there. Sugawara also over this free kick, although in the end could be Downs. Sugawara short to Downs, he gives it to Taylor, then Bednarek. Downs once again turns it first time to Harwood Bellis. Hurst goes after him. Harwood Bellis onto the chest of Davis under pressure. What can Town do? Jack Clark has the ball on halfway. Back to Leif Davis on this left-hand side, trying to find Hurst, blocked off by Harwood Bellis. Davis still has the ball. Harwood Bellis battling, but physically going over the top. It's a free kick, says Mr. Allison, with 6 minutes to go.
Still could go either way, couldn't it?
Yeah,
it really could.
Yeah, I agree. There's going to be just a one-man wall for this free kick from a long, long way out. It's Adam Armstrong standing with his toes on the white line. Live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport, approaching the last 5 minutes at St Mary's. Town of a free kick from 40-odd yards out. Davis fires at Dagging to the far corner of the area, headed infield by O'Shea, up in the air from Stewart. All hands on deck for Southampton. Ugachukwu over the top of O'Shea. Ball goes out of play for nothing other than a Southampton goal kick, which is warmly applauded.
Yeah, they needed that really. That was us putting pressure on them again, and that was, I didn't like the free kick. It was overhit too far, you know. It's I just thought there was a massive space this side, and I didn't know why Southampton didn't fill this massive hole here. If I was Leif Davis, I would have wanted to roll the ball down into the box this side for a blue-shirted player just to peel out and gain possession inside the box.
31,117, and at the moment the Marcus Stewart hat-trick game of April 2001 is going to remain Ipswich Town's last Premier League win over Southampton, unless we have yet more late drama between these two clubs, because we're into the final 4 minutes pretty much. And Southampton lead 1-0. Poor clearance from Johnson. Stewart gives it to Brereton Diaz. Johnson then goes after the Chilean international. Town on the ball, but it's another free kick. He's given so many free kicks in this game, Sam Allison.
Yeah, he has, and I think he's been a little bit unfair to both teams, to be perfectly honest. There's been times when I don't know whether this is a free kick, but maybe Sam has come in late and just clipped the heels, but certainly Chuanzebe was doing nothing wrong at all. Free kick to Southampton. Probably about 32 yards from goal, over on the left-hand side. Sugawara
That has tended to be the ways on this set piece. Taylor's also there. It's actually going to be Taylor who knocked it into the town area. Hasn't been cleared just yet. Bobbling around in there. Turn towards goal just over the top. Did Murich get fingertips? The referee believes yes, he did. Corner.
Yeah, I think he's touched it over. He didn't need to, but when you're the goalkeeper there, you're the last man. You've got to make sure. I think this ball would have gone over the crossbar.
Well, it's looking more and more likely that disappointing goal from Ipswich Town's perspective early on is going to settle this game. Hopefully I'm tempting fate by saying that. 3 minutes to go. So says the big scoreboard off to our right-hand side here at St Mary's, under which Sugawara is preparing to take a second corner kick of the afternoon for the home side. Sugawara of Southampton trying to kill off this game once and for all, the Saints. In comes his corner kick to the far post, headed away by O'Shea as far as Downs. Downs gives it back to Taylor. Taylor out to the left-hand side, nodded in field by Southampton. Here's Ugachukwu, slips it square towards Sugawara. Southampton passing it around 2 minutes of the 90 to go. Blocked off by Johnson, out for a throw-in. Your thoughts, remember, very welcome. Give us a call 0800 141 2121, the phone number. Have a chat to Nick and Graham, or text 81333. Start those messages SFK, or WhatsApp 08000 321 333 again. Start those with SFK, and with 1 hour on Monday's Blue Hour. brenner@bbc.co.uk is the email. Clark into the path of Davis. The ball settles down on the halfway line. Davis hits it up the halfway line to Taylor. Taylor through a little gap to Jack Clark. Clark in field. Excellent play from a former Sunderland man. Terrible touch from Chaplin. That had some potential. It was very poor from him. Taylor wins it well in midfield. Brilliant from Taylor. Trying to put it in behind for Hurst, but away from him. And back to Ramsdale. That was disappointing from Chaplin after some good work, particularly from Jack Clark.
Yeah, very wasteful in the end, but that ball had possibilities there. It's still this end-to-end game. Both teams are trying to create the one chance. Southampton, which will kill the game if they do manage to do it. Town, if they manage to do it, they can get back to level pegging.
Final minute of the 90. Stewart battling with Greaves, now with Davis. Greaves steps in after a brief intervention from Davis, plays it against Stewart, hasn't gone out of play. Stewart goes down, back up on his feet. The referee's assistant's got a good view of this. He's let it go. Eventually Greaves has been fouled. Kind of a free kick down left back with Southampton about to bring on Joe Aribo, who I thought had a really good game for them at Portman Road in April. Midfielder, former Charlton and Rangers player. O'Shea's head is in his hands. Worst pass of the afternoon from him. Straight to touch far side, as numerous Southampton fans disappear, believing that they've seen their team win for the first time this season. Aribo is going to be coming on for Fernandes. Standing ovation for the 20-year-old Portuguese. Seven minutes of added on time to be played. Well, that's good news for Ipswich Town. Rick Sarmiento's goal came after about 97 minutes back in April. Well, at least it was 1-1 at that stage. It's unlikely Town are going to win this game, but can they get a dramatic equaliser and secure their third draw in a row? Another building block. Out far side, through to Ipswich Town. Johnson takes it. Back it goes to O'Shea. There is Greaves towards Leif Davis. Davis finds O'Shea back towards his goalkeeper, Murich. Nothing he could do about the goal. He's done well when called upon at other times, Aro Murich. Johnson, obviously freshness in his legs, carries the ball to halfway, gives it to Amari Hutchinson. Then there is Morsey. Taylor alongside him, seeing a little bit of the ball. He swipes it to his left, and Greaves, 90 seconds into the added on, 7 minutes on BBC Radio Suffolk. Taylor to Chaplin, quickly towards Hurst. Chaplin's back on the ball. Downs is all over him, wins it. Downs then goes back tries to play a 1-2, given away by Sugawara. Downs has had an effective game in the heart of the Southampton midfield. Johnson in shade, far side, driving forward with the ball for Ipswich Town. He's got it down the right hand side of the box. In goes the challenge of Stewart. Poor challenge that from Ross Stewart. Has given Ipswich Town a free kick in a good position, and Russell Martin can't have been happy with that. It's a daft yellow card from Stewart and a real chance for Town.
Most of all, a crazy free kick, because this is one hell of a position to be in.
If it was the rule reverse, that'd have been
Southampton
furious.
have had to go right back on their 6-yard box to form their line, the defensive line.
Been furious if Ipswich Town had done that in similar circumstances. Been leading 1-0, given away such a cheap free kick as Stewart has just done. Can Ipswich Town capitalise on this set piece? 2.5 minutes into added on time at St Mary's. Town have got a free kick in line with the 18-yard area, around about 5 yards outside of it, right of centre. Set up for Davis to bend it into Ramsdale's box off to our left-hand side. So many players in that box. And it comes from Davis. He's gone square to Morsey in the D. Morsey tries to pick his spot. Blocked by Bednarek. Comes back out towards Davis. Davis thought about crossing, eventually does get it in off a little deflection. There are plenty of players forward. Headed away by Southampton. Jack Clark goes after it, shields it out of play from Ugochukwu. The referee's just telling Clark to wait a second. Now he can't take the throw, and don't know why there was the pause. 3 minutes into the added on 7. Leif Davis is coming across to take this throw. Can Ipswich Town break Southampton's hearts again? Wouldn't be with a winning goal this time, but it would be a goal that would prevent them from getting their first win of the Premier League season. In comes the throw from Davis, headed up and away by Harwood Bellis. Really good header. Taylor brings it down for Ipswich Town. Little disguised ball into the box to Jack Clark. Good play. Clark weaving and then dinking the ball into the centre. Lovely ball! Oh, the header from Hurst is tipped over the bar by Ramsdale. Good football all round.
Yeah, terrific football, good play, good patient play down this left-hand side, and Clark was very calm on it, got that ball in with his right foot, and it was a real testing ball. Good header, good save by Ramsdale.
Top goalkeepers win you points as the season progresses, something Brian Clough would always say about Peter Shilton. Well, Ramsdale might have won Southampton points there. Corner kick for Town, and it comes from Leif Davis, headed away by Brereton Diaz, brought down by Morsey. Morsey hits it! Oh, what a goal! What a strike from the captain! Look at those scenes in the away end! Ipswich Town have got a draw! His first ever Premier League goal, and what a time, and what a beauty!
Yeah, what a strike. He must like this ground, Sam Morsey. I think he got one here last year. That was a cracker, it really was. The ball has been cleared out to the edge of the box. He's about 20 yards out, one touch, and he fired it into the top right-hand corner. Wonderful goal, wonderful goal.
Lovely celebrations as well. Wow, Southampton won, Ipswich Town won. More late drama when these two sides meet. Yeah, incredible. What a goal, right into the top corner beyond a very, very good goalkeeper who just 30 seconds earlier